A very good evening to all our viewers. Namaskar, Pranam, Sat Sri Akal, what have you. Today, as you all are aware, we are going to discuss about artificial intelligence in military operations. और इसको discuss करने के लिए we have Lt Gen TSA Narayanan, who has been my colleague while in service. We have had a long association. Welcome to the show, General Narayanan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Before we proceed ahead, I would like to tell our audience about Jan Narayanan, not in so much detail because he spans a 40-year career, which actually, if you start narrating everything, the show will get over by that itself. Briefly, I would like to tell that he has held all kinds of staff and command appointments in the core of EME, as also in general headquarters, so whether it was corps, brigade, or division. We were together in a core headquarters where we served as colleagues. He also headed the simulator division in the MCEME, which is the Makkah of electrical mechanical engineers corps officers where and men, where they get trained for the armed forces. And later on, he headed the same institution as its boss, and he retired from there. So, once again, a warm welcome to you, Jan Narayanan, and good to connect with you again on this very important show. As you all are aware, artificial intelligence has entered in almost every walk of life. Some even suggest that it is already replacing human beings, which is leading to loss of jobs, which in turn is leading to unemployment, unrest, dissatisfaction with artificial intelligence. AI is also intruding into personal space. Privacy issues are coming up. Is everything wrong with the AI? Can it not be used constructively? In the defense forces, too, there are many functions that can be taken over by the artificial intelligence that are related to operations, security, logistics, and administration. I think a constructive use of artificial intelligence will aid commanders in decision making, thus shortening the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, and act. This is a very important function. ये बहुत ही important एक्शन होता है एक कमांडर का. किसी भी कार्य को करने से पहले उसको देखना पड़ता है, फिर उसको आइडेंटिफाई करके उस अपने अपने सिस्टम्स को ओरिएंट करके फिर उसको उसके ऊपर हमला करते हैं. तो ये पूरी साइकिल को ऊडा लूप बोला जाता है. You can see a lot of unmanned weapons and equipment platforms are today coming into the armed forces, especially of the advanced countries like US and China. India too has made a lot of progress in this particular field. So let me tell you how are the big players today in this particular field. See, India is going to complete by 2024 25 AI based projects in the defense only. This was announced by the defense minister. US spends almost $4 billion related R&D activity only. Leave aside the investment part. They say that they have almost invested to the tune of 134.1 billion in R&D, defense R&D. लोगों का बजट ही नहीं होता है इतना. इंडिया का बजट ही नहीं है इतना जितना इनकी R&D, AI R&D में एक्सपेंडिचर हो रहा है, डिफेंस R&D में एक्सपेंडिचर हो रहा है. And the areas which they have is in artificial intelligence, quantum information industries, science and quantum information sciences, advanced communication, network and advanced manufacturing. So I mean, so on and so forth. China is giving a very close competition to US now. In fact, there are some reports that they are possibly getting ahead of the US. In fact, new generation weapons development, AI development plan 2017, they are going by the clock as far as their investments in artificial intelligence is concerned. Russia and India are like, हमेशा बजट का रोना है हमारा, क्योंकि बजट तो हमारा लिमिटेड है. 3.7 ट्रिलियन का हमारा टोटल का जीडीपी है, उसमें से कितना हम अपने बाकी सेक्टर्स को देंगे, कितना आईआई को देंगे. बट स्टिल I must tell you that India now ranks fifth in as far as artificial intelligence investments are concerned, only beaten by US, China, UK, Israel, Germany, Canada, countries, Russia, countries like these are behind India. So India is, and all this has started from 2013 onwards. From 2013 onwards, we have given budget to the tune of 7.73 billion only for research. So what I'm trying to say is that there has been a concerted effort by this current establishment, ruling establishment in the center on this very important issue. If you look at China, look at the quantum of engagement which the others are doing with China. And these are United States, Southeast Asia, and Quad countries, which does not include US. That means India is included in the this, Australia is included, Japan is included, and then Russia. So therefore, the quantum of uh, investments which are going into artificial intelligence have the potential to change the entire scenario of both uh, other sectors as far as overall economy is concerned and the defense as well. So इन सब चीजों को समझने के लिए let's go to our expert today, Jal Narayanan. So Jal Narayanan, can you give us an overview and then we will launch into questions which we have in our mind. Over to you, Jal Narayanan.
Thank you, General Dushyant, for inviting me to Strive. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You would all, bought a lot of items from Amazon, and you would have done some Google search. When you buy items from Amazon, the next day Amazon, displays the same item for you to again buy. Now you don't require it, but it goes on displaying the same thing. That is thanks to AI. If you look at Google Lens, I mean, Google has got something called a Google Lens. If you
Yes.
take a Google Lens and just go walk across any garden, put any flower and just click it, it will tell you everything about that flower. That is AI for you. So to start with, the term AI was coined by John McCarthy in somewhere in 1956, if I remember, where he and other research people proposed the goal of creating thinking machines. I mean, that was a big thing at that time. But despite all this early thing, the progress in AI slowed down very drastically, and it was called as the AI winter. It is starting from 50s to till 1980. In
Yeah.
between 1917, something called the expert system came, which was rule based, and people started claiming that to be AI. And later, when AI came, that was said that is not an AI. The actual AI was with the new AI approach, which started in 1980 as such, where the machine learning gained attention. And this machine learning algorithm allowed computers to learn from data and improve performance. The actual resurgence of AI took place somewhere after 2000 because of advance in computing power, availability of big data, and breakthrough in algorithms. Deep learning, which is supposed to be a subfield of machine learning, gained prominence with the development of deep neural network, which I will be talking about, capable of learning hierarchical representation of data. Now, AI applications such as speech recognition, image classification, natural language processing, autonomous vehicles have made significant progress and are available to all of us. You would have all seen that OpenAI GPT-3, which has been released, the generative AI, uh, that is GPT 3.5, which has been released in June 20, that has pushed the boundaries of AI, and it is available for common man free of cost. Paid version is also there, but the paid version is the latest, and the free version only restricts the data up to September 21. With this as the background, I would like to now introduce the actual terminology to each one of you, that what is artificial intelligence as such. Now, AI refers to the simulation of human intelligence by computer system. These processes include learning, reasoning, and self correction. The AI system will aim to mimic human cognitive functions such as problem solving, decision making, and language understanding. Now, what is machine learning? Machine learning is a subset of AI that focuses on algorithms and model that enable computer to learn from data and make predictions. So machine learning systems learn patterns and relationship from data, allowing them to improve their performance over a period of time. There are various
Yes.
types of machine learning, which I will be covering in the next slide. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning that focuses on neural network with multiple layers. These networks are capable of automatically learning hierarchical features from data, allowing them to handle complex patterns. Deep learning has led to significant breakthrough in areas such as image recognition, natural language processing, and game playing. Now, what is machine learning? If you can see on the slide, there are three things which are narrated: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Now, look at the supervised learning. If you see the blackboard is a teacher teaching the student, that is actually supervised learning. So, what does
Yeah.
it we do in the machine? Supervised learning is a type of machine learning where the algorithm learns from labeled training data. So what does it do? It learns a mapping function that can accurately predict the correct output for new unseen inputs. Example, when a small child is there, when it has just started walking, when you want to teach it to, what is the difference between a cat and a dog, you'll show the large number of pictures of cats and dog and tell the child that this is cat, this is dog. After some time, when you show a picture without speaking, the child will be able to say it's a cat or a dog. That is actually supervised learning. You are labeled, and similarly, you label this and give it to the computer. And common examples of supervised learning, those tasks today is object detection, image classification, and regression tasks like predicting house prices, share market, where will it go, all that kind of a thing. Now comes unsupervised learning, is same what is shown in the slide. A person is sitting and learning on his own. So it involves working with unlabeled data where the algorithm aims to try to find pattern, structure, or there's any relationship within the data without any guidance. The goal of unsupervised learning is to discover underlying pattern in the data. Suppose a child is given various colored stones and you're able to segregate into various colors. So it will be able to immediately recognize what color it is. So it is something like that, unsupervised learning. Now, it is used in application like, in stores for customer segmentation or even for fraud detection. It's beautifully detected fraud detection in computer systems or email systems. Now, what is reinforcement learning? Where an agent learns how to interact with an environment to maximize a reward signal.
Uh,
The
uh,
agent,
Gen Narayanan, if you could just give an odd example also of this so that the people are
yes,
able
sir,
to relate,
that is
because
what
these
that's
are
what I'm trying to do. Oh, right, sir. Like the agent takes the environment and it provides a feedback in the form of reward. Like when your pet or dog something does good, you give them a treat. Then it understands if I do this good, I can do. So this is what the reinforcement learning. So if the Google developed AlphaGo computer for playing the game Go, and it went on doing the reinforcement learning. Wherever it used to do a mistake, it used to be cited, and whenever it used to do a thing, it used to be petted. So the computer, after some time, was able to defeat the professional Go player. So that is the advantage of reinforcement learning. Now comes what is the deep learning. We have seen what is machine learning. Now deep learning is little complicated. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Now, if you look at the photo, or the slide, there's on the left side something written as a neuron. They are the fundamental block of our brain, actually. They function differently while in brain versus when they are in the rest of the body. They are available everywhere. It receives signals from other neurons, processes the signals, and then sends signal to the next neuron or muscle. Actually, I have no more knowledge than this because it's a biology subject and I was a very weak student in biology. But still, I'll just try to say now, because there's a similarity between how we have processed the deep learning and with the brain. Dendrites are like the branches of a tree that collect signals from other neurons. In the context of deep learning, think of dendrite as an input receiver that gathers information from various sources. And axon is like a long wire that carries the neuron's output signal. It is how the neurons communicates its decision or computation to other neurons. And now come to deep learning, perceptron. Now, right side is the perceptron. Think of a perceptron as a simplified model of a neuron. It takes multiple inputs and multiplies each input by a weight, adds them up, and passes the result through an activation function to produce an output. So, how does the deep now? If you see the table, I have given you the table of equivalence also. between the neuron and the perceptron. Now, how does the deep learning function? Deep learning is like building a complex network of interconnected artificial neurons, which is called perceptrons, that mimic the way our brain works. These artificial neurons receive input, process them with certain weights and biases, apply this function, and pass the result to the other neuron. This will happen in multiple layers, and that is why the term deep in deep learning. So, a deep learning model is composed of layers of perceptron, where each perceptron corresponds to a neuron in our brain. So, each layer will process the information at different level of abstraction. The output of one layer will become the input to the next layer, allowing the model to learn increasingly complex features and patterns from the data. The blue thing which is written blue circle are the various layers. Now I'll explain in much simpler fashion. I want to tell you a background of that. Now, what is the difference between deep learning and machine learning? In a machine learning, it will be able to tell you whether what your image you have produced is a car or not a car. A deep learning will be able to tell you not only it's a car, what make it is, what color it is, what model it is. So, in simplistic terms, this is the difference between machine learning and deep learning. So, where is machine learning gets used? Basically for classification. Like classification means how does the Google take out the email spam and separate out, and he separate and gives your mail to you in your inbox. That is using classification. Regression, predict value. You're able to, through various methods, you're able to predict where will be the property prices go, where will the land values go, where will the share market go. These are through various regression methods. Anomaly detection, basically the fraud in networks, or fraud in this thing, any outlier, those kind of a thing is a anomaly detection. And clustering, in market the customer segmentation has to be done, so it does a clustering. Deep learning is used for computer vision, like how does the camera in a traffic signal is able to pick up your car, read your number. That is a pure deep learning method. And second is video recognition. Now you take, we all use handheld thermal imager in our border, and we have to keep on, looking at the HSTI throughout to see anything coming. Then people went on, connecting this HSTI to various mechanism, where, if there's any intrusion, the sound used to come. But what used to happen is, if there's any animal intrusion, the sound used to come. So if you use a deep learning, it will be able to recognize whether a human has entered or an animal has entered. Language translation, to all the language translation from Mandarin to Hindi to any other French, all this can be done using deep learning. Speech recognition, decision making, autonomous car, Tesla, using very high level of deep learning, medical diagnostics, and all robotic controls use deep learning in that way. Now, how does AI work? What all you require to make AI work? Because this is very important. Because otherwise, we as seniors, we can't keep on telling people, why don't you apply AI? It is it's not very easy to apply AI for various things which I'm going to explain. First is data. AI requires large amount of data from which it can learn. The data can be in the form of text, it could be images, it could be numbers, or any other relevant information depending upon the task which we have at hand. So the data is used to expose the AI system to a wide range of example and scenario. Once you have collected the data, you have to train the system on this data. So during the training phase, the AI system uses the collected data to learn the pattern, relationship, and various correlation. You would have read correlations in maths. I won't go into that. The AI system applies algorithm to analyze the data and identify relevant features that distinguish one class from another. Once you have trained it, then you have to now do feature extraction. What is a feature extraction? It involves identifying and selecting the most relevant aspect of the data that contribute to the task at hand. This process simplifies the data and reduces its dimensionality, making it easier for the AI to learn and generalize. For instance, in image recognition, for a face, it will be able to recognize, learn to recognize the edges, shapes, texture, and all that. Next is algorithm application. The AI system use algorithm to process the extracted features and make prediction or decision. These algorithms are often based on mathematical and statistic principle, which I don't have to say. So because of them, they are able to find patterns and relationships in the data. Then comes the model building, very important in the AI system. He builds a model based on what he has learned in the relationship from the training data. This represents the knowledge the system has acquired and allows it to make prediction or decision when presented with new or unseen data. Now comes the most important, evaluation. So during training, the AI system is tested on a separate portion of data. It is totally different from the training data. This evaluation helps assess the system performance and its ability to generalize its learning with new examples. If the performance is unsatisfactory, you have to make adjustment and to the model and algorithm. Then you have feedback and iteration. So the system will use the feedback from the evaluation phase to adjust its internal parameters and improve its performance. Adaptation and learning. As the AI system encounters more data and goes through multiple iteration, it becomes better at recognizing patterns and making accurate prediction or decision. Finally, the decision making. Once the AI system is trained and has built a robust model, it can make decisions or prediction on new, unseen data. This system uses the pattern it has learned from the training data to classify, categorize, or provide insights about the input data. So much for the artificial intelligence. Now let us see how we apply, where all we can apply it in the uh, defense forces or military application.
Yeah, yeah.
First application of AI in ISR, which every one of us knows. That is the intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Now, you all know ISR plays a vital role in military operation by gathering information about enemy activities, the various terrain, and potential threats. AI can significantly enhance data analysis in this ISR by processing large volumes of data quickly and accurately. The
Okay.
AI algorithms can identify patterns, anomalies, and trends within the data, allowing commanders to take informed decisions. So we have three verticals in this: enhanced data analysis, processing satellite imagery, and signal intelligence. In the enhanced data analysis, first is the object detection. The AI powered object detection actually has revolutionized these ISR capabilities. Machine learning models trained on diverse data set can identify and classify various objects such as vehicle, aircraft, personal equipment from imaginary and sensor data. You have all this put in the drones where they're able to classify all this and able to actually drones are able to make out what type of vehicle it is, which vehicle it is. And similarly, we have BFSR. It's one of the problem statement of ADB. BFSR, it's got various tones. So if a man is walking, it gives a tone. If a vehicle is coming, it gives a different tone. If a tank is coming, different tone. If there's a helicopter, different tone. So that every individual has to be trained to recognize this tone and then tell what is coming. By this is where AI can help. This AI can actually, if large amount of data is fed, it will be able to recognize from the tone that whether an individual is coming or a tank is coming or a vehicle is coming, what is coming. So that is the advantage of this. Situational awareness. AI contributes to situational awareness by fusing data from multiple sources such as radars, sensors, and drones to create a comprehensively understanding of the operational environment. AI algorithms can analyze this data in real time, detecting potential threat, and can also predict the enemy movement, where it will go, and provide this information to commander at all level. Now come to satellite imagery, another beautiful place where AI has done a lot of work. Now, you all know satellite imagery provides critical information about geographical features, various infrastructure and potential threats. AI systems actually can automatically process and analyze satellite imagery, identify the what are the changes, where are the anomalies, and can give you the important details that not might not be immediately obvious to a human analyst. Object identification and tracking. AI can identify and track objects of interest within satellite images, such as military installation, equipment movement, large logistic movement, and if there's any change in ground situation, that also it can take. Deep learning models, particularly CNN, which is called the convolution neural network, are very good at detecting objects and discerning their characteristics from imagery. Coming to change detection, AI powered change detection involves comparing satellite images captured at different times to identify alteration in the landscape. This is valuable for monitoring development, identifying potential threats, new structures which have come up in the area, and what is the threat level. All this can be anticipated with help of AI. Fusion with other data sources. AI system can integrate satellite imagery with other sources of information such as ground-based sensors, weather data, and even social media feeds. This data fusion enhances the accuracy and comprehensiveness of INT assessment. Now, coming to the last point, that is the signal intelligence. We all know it as SIGINT. This involves intercepting and analyzing electronic signals such as communications and maybe radar emissions. AI can play a very crucial role in automating signal processing. It
I
can
have
rapidly.
I have a small question here,
Yes,
Jal
sir.
Narayanan, regarding signal intelligence. It is related to Kargil war, and this will interest the audience also. Had we had some kind of an AI system when the Kargil war, before the Kargil war, when the signal was intercepted by the wireless experimental unit regarding some communications between Pervez Musharraf and when he was in China, I think we would have been much better prepared to receive our friends from across and give them a solid nose beating. What do you have to say on this?
Absolutely, sir. I mean, not only that, I'm saying even like in a CI ops, you see, we had large number of terrorists opening up their radios at different level. Each radio has got a signature, sir. It may be
Hmm.
operating in the same frequency, but it's got a particular signature. So if it is AI, you can actually track where it is going. The movement of terrorists also could be tracked by his, movement. Otherwise, you will not be able to know where it is. This could be all put into the map, and everything could be tracked. And what you said, I mean, if we had AI at that time, I mean, we would have achieved much better. I mean, even for that matter, the Arunachal, where we gave a bloody nose about 8, 9 months back.
Yeah,
This is again
yeah.
thanks to AI from a satellite imagery, we could catch them
So,
that they are
so, so,
coming.
so that is the difference. Yangtze we managed to preempt
Yeah,
thanks to this kind
absolutely.
of a technology. Earlier we were slightly late or behind the actual
We did
event
not
taking.
have the technology with us at that time. And
Absolutely.
another good point is, I mean, what was said and done, we have good relations with USA. I'm sure they must be also sharing a
Yes.
lot of data now with us.
Correct. Correct.
Absolutely. Pattern recognition is another thing. AI algorithm will excel at recognizing pattern with complex and noisy signal data. This capability is valuable for identifying encrypted communication and understanding the adversary tactics, and you can predict potential threats also. Anomaly detection is another thing in signal intelligence. It can identify unusual or suspicious activity that might indicate covert communication. Machine learning models can learn the baseline pattern of normal communication, which I was trying to tell you, and highlight deviation for further investigation. Now, coming to the AI system in autonomous systems. Autonomous systems are basically UAV, UJV, unmanned aerial vehicle or unmanned ground vehicle, various kinds of robotics. Now, these are the points which I have brought out that where AI could be utilized. One is decision making. Now, decision making, what does the who all have to make a decision making? Out of these, the UAV, the drones have to make a decision. How does it do? So the AI enables autonomous systems to analyze sensor data from various sources such as camera, lidar, radar to understand the surroundings. These systems use advanced algorithms to interpret this data, identify obstacles, plan the route, and make real-time decision based on the environment. Then comes the perception. It allows autonomous vehicle to detect objects, people, and other vehicle in their vicinity. This involves computer vision and sensor fusion technique that process and interpret visual and sensor data to create a comprehensive understanding of the environment. Important is hazardous environment where this robotics can be utilized in a big way. Autonomous system excel in hazardous environment where human presence could be risky or impractical.
Yeah.
Examples are various disaster zone, NBC radioactive areas, battlefields,
Bomb
uh,
disposal.
bomb disposal. I mean, oh, so many are there. So
Yes.
AI-equipped robots and drones can perform tasks so they can do recce, operate in NBC environment, explosive ordnance disposal, search and rescue in avalanche, and surveillance in this environment. There's one 510 packbot by iRobo Corporation. It's a US firm. US had deployed more than 1,000 of these robots in Afghanistan during the last 10 years when they
Okay.
were there. Navigational autonomy. How does these drones, everything, UAV navigate?
But
They,
there is a question here which comes to mind of a layman is that
sir,
US was able to deploy about 1,000 robotic systems as you are mentioning autonomous systems, but yet there used to be failures. So could you also highlight some limitations of artificial intelligence while you are going on with your presentation? Yeah,
sir, the failure of artificial intelligence comes only when the data is not correct. You see,
correct.
most of the time, what happens is, uh, first of all, it has to learn from that existing data. If that existing data itself is corrupted, the result which will be failure. But if the data is good, generally the AI should not fail. That is what my point is. And if at all the US people could not, uh, uh, remove Taliban or capture Afghanistan, there's so many other reasons. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm saying the systems also sometimes fail them. That's what I'm trying to say.
absolutely, sir. Systems will fail. You may require a million data, but if you're trying to predict based on 1,000 data points, then the
But
result will not be correct. Then it may be,
abs-
50% only. Sometimes it will
correct,
be correct, sometimes it will not be correct.
correct.
Learning. Autonomous system can learn and adapt to new environment and scenarios. That's the beauty of this because keeps on feeding the data. It will be able to do. That is where the reinforcement learning algorithms will allow them to learn from trial and error. Communication and collaboration. As you all aware, all the drones communicate with each other. So this autonomous system can communicate and collaborate with each other. So and do a collective job. Basically, this is most important in swarm drone, swarm robotics, and swarm drones, where a group of autonomous drones work together to achieve a common goal. Even in India, DRDO has made some robots like Daksh, remotely operated vehicle, and UXOR, which is unexploded ordnance handling robot. But these are not autonomous. So if they are all remotely controlled. So if they are
Hmm.
not autonomous, means they don't have AI or much of AI. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
Now, where else you can use cyber security is another field. I mean, these are very simple points. Threat detection. AI can ensure cyber security system can analyze vast amount of data. Running system to detect unusual patterns and behavior. So someone is trying to hack or do something, it will be able to detect. So it will be able to detect potential cyber threats. So it can identify anomalies in network traffic. It can also check the user behavior and raise alerts for further investigation. Intrusion detection and prevention system, typically called as IDS and IPS, they use AI in a big way to block unauthorized access attempts. AI algorithms can learn to recognize the signature of known attacks as well as anomalies associated with new and previously even unseen threats. Network
Okay.
security, if you do all this, you can monitor the network traffic in real time, identify suspicious activity, and respond to threats before they compromise the network. These solutions can automatically quarantine infected devices and isolate compromised segments to prevent lateral movements of these threats. Data protection. You can use encrypt sensitive military data, making it more difficult for unauthorized persons or parties to access and decipher these data. So AI-powered encryption solution can adopt and adjust encryption level based on the sensitivity of the information being protected. Malware
Okay.
detection, everyone is aware. We all are aware that malware detection is another thing which can be done by AI. Now, simulation and training is something which I feel, Indian Army is using, and where is actually AI is being extensively used now by Indian Army as such.
Okay.
So, Indian Army has got two this thing organization. One is a simulation development division, and one is a war game cell. War deck, which is in Delhi. So
Delhi.
both these can actually use AI in a big way. For first taking the scenario generation in a war game, the AI can generate diverse and complex virtual battlefield scenarios that can challenge commanders' decision making, his strategic planning, and tactical execution. These scenarios can encompass various operational environment from urban warfare, I mean to mountain warfare, anything, or desert warfare, or even to even asymmetrical conflicts.
Okay.
Customization, AI can adopt simulation to match the trainee skill. Now here, the simulator come into picture where the trainee skill levels can be read, and it can adopt the simulation as per his skill. As the trainee progresses, AI can adjust the difficulty and complexity of scenario, ensuring an optimum learning experience for individual. Unpredictability, very important. AI can introduce randomness and variability into training simulation, making them more challenging and reflective. Like take example of a say
Okay. I think General Narayanan's communication has gone a little awry. So we will wait for him to come. But essentially, what he was trying to say is that randomness helps in creating new effects in your training, etc. So when you are simulating a particular weapon or a particular weapon is being practiced, they can actually highlight different types of targets in different positions, in different postures, which normally on a range, if you go on a short range, अगर आप short range में जाएंगे, वहाँ पे fix होता है target, उसी तरह से ही आपके सामने रहता है. So you are not able to actually yeah. So General Narayanan has was having some technical difficulties. So what I was trying to
sir,
say,
now I've the light had gone, sir. So I'm now going to the mobile.
no problems, no
Can you
problems.
hear me, sir?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. You can go ahead. I'll put your slides
And
back
I'll
again.
request you to change the slide, sir.
Yeah, yeah. I'll put it back again. I'll put it in the. I think I'll get it get these ones up so that you are able to
Simulation and training, sir. Next one.
simulation. Yeah, this one.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking about the unpredictability. Now, what is unpredictability? Was just giving an example of a driving simulator. Now, what could be an unpredictability? When an individual is being trained on a driving, it could be tank driving anything. Now, suddenly, some kind of a object, if suddenly lands up, then his reaction can be seen. That is unpredictability. So, if it's a driving simulator on a road, imagine, putting some potholes, some individual crossing the road. So, these can all be put in random fashion. So, which AI can do. So, it will be very helpful. Next comes
Okay.
the tactical decision support. Now, AI can act as an advisory, commanding enemy forces to predict scenarios. So this can be done in a vortex, sir. This will allow the commanders to practice making tactical decision against intelligent opponents. I think my thing has come. I think I'll get out of mobile now.
Okay. 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 So till the time Jal Narayanan comes back again on his normal computer, what I am trying to basically highlight here is that artificial intelligence can create real time scenarios randomly. मतलब अ, ऐसा सिनेरियो क्रिएट करेंगे ट्रेनिंग के लिए, प्रैक्टिस के लिए, एक्सरसाइजेस के लिए, जो कि पहले से नहीं पता होता है। नॉर्मली क्या होता है आज तक कि हम लोगों को जनरली पता रहता है कि यही 3-4 सिनेरियो हैं, उसी में हमने लड़ाई लड़नी है। लेकिन इफ इट इज़ अ आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस ड्रिवन सिस्टम अपॉन व्हिच यू आर डूइंग, आप अपना वॉर गेम्स कर रहे हो या अपनी फिजिकल ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हो, उस सिमुलेटर के द्वारा, सिमुलेटर जैसे AK-47 का सिमुलेटर हो सकता है, टैंक का सिमुलेटर हो सकता है। तो उस तरह की चीज़ों पर अगर आप आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से टारगेट क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, तो बिल्कुल एब्सोल्युटली अननोन सिचुएशंस आप क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। दैट इज़ व्हाट ही हैज़ बीन ट्राइंग टू टेल एंड दैट इज़ व्हाट द
Light is
एडवांटेज।
troubling a lot. So
Yeah,
I'll
so
just continue in the mobile only, sir.
yeah, it's better. It is safer to be on the mobile. Okay.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
So I was talking about the tactical decision support. Now AI can act as an advisory. It can command the enemy forces in virtual scenarios. So it can be happen in a war deck. This will allow the commanders to practice making tactical decision against intelligent opponents, and
Yeah.
this they will be able to hone their strategic thinking and decision making skills. Dynamic
Correct.
environment, AI can replicate the various weather condition, terrain changes, unexpected event that can characterize real battlefield. So this will enhance the ability of the trainee or the commander to adapt to rapidly changing circumstances.
Situation.
Feedback
Yeah.
analysis, we all know. Collective training is another thing where the simulation can AI-based simulations can help to include multiple participants, multiple unit. You can facilitate team-based and joint training exercises, and on a virtual environment, and you can have collaborative units doing a tactical exercise. So these are the various places which AI can use in simulation and training in the defense forces. Now I'll come to next slide, sir. Use cases for military. First, I will talking about the predictive maintenance, which I will talk. We being from my core, this is very important for us in the core of EME. So I thought I'll start with that. This is where predictive maintenance can be used for AI can be used in this. The algorithms can be made which will analyze sensor data from military vehicle and equipment to anticipate maintenance needs. So by predicting when components might fail, the military can schedule the maintenance proactively or change the system, change the engine, whatever the way the prediction comes. So this will reduce the downtime and ensure equipment availability always.
Okay.
So take for an example an engine of a tank. So if we can put about 7 or 8 type of sensors, like a oil pressure sensor, a vibration sensor, a torque sensor, a exhaust sensor, a acoustic sensor, fuel consumption sensor, and cool. Some 2, 3 sensors are already existing in the tanks. Balance 5, 6, and it is large amount of data if you can generate, and if you can do a correlation between these sensors, you will be able to predict the life of an engine. We tried this experiment in MCME. Unfortunately, the problem with tank data is tank has got limited hours of for more than so many hours or so many kilometers in a year. So because of which you can't get large amount of data. But the future equipment all are going to come with these kind of sensors. So AI will be easily, will be able to apply. Second case, supply chain management. You all know Amazon, Google, all these people, logistic people are applying AI in a big way in supply chain management. We can also do it. We can do by in demand forecasting. We can do, inventory level can be optimized based on AI. Route optimization. Whenever the balloon goes up, all the formation are ready to move. We allot the road space to each formation. AI can tell you, optimize the route. People who supply us to the army, the selection of suppliers, AI will be very good. Depot automation, warehouse, that is wherever the items are kept, automation of them, AI is another place. Supply chain visibility, simple example, where are the spares available in throughout India, in which all depot, where are what item fuels are, oils are available at which depot, is all AI can tell. Intelligence, I will not cover because I already covered in ISR.
Combat
Yeah.
system, the drones and this thing I already covered. Cyber security I have already covered. Come to strategic planning, I have covered it, but I'll again say, you can generate diverse and unpredictable scenarios in wargaming, and strategic planning and will enhance the military decision making. Very important. We should actually do it in Vortex. So AI can simulate various geopolitical, environmental, and technological factors to create realistic scenario. This will aid the military commanders in testing and refining their strategies. They can actually evaluate the potential outcomes and can think about alternate approaches. Medical, in a big way, the AI has been taken over the world. Imaging and analysis, basically all your X-rays, your MRI, this all can be read by AI. You don't require a doctor to read nowadays. They can they can read and tell you where is the problem. Personalized medicine based on your data, individual data, what all you have been taking medicine, it will be able to tell when to take. Disease detection, virtual doctor. You don't actually require a doctor. You just put your what is the ailment, and the chatbot will tell you, or the virtual doctor will tell you what all medicine you should take. It will keep on asking some question. You answer those questions. It will be able to tell you. We are running a manual health card. We should have an electronic health card where AI will be able to extract large amount of data. Today, now robots are available where it is able to assist the doctors in robo-assisted surgery. And last but not the least, that language translation, very important for us, especially for our soldiers who can communicate effectively with foreign counterparts and local population, especially during UN operation. Moreover,
This
during our
is
interaction
very,
with neighboring countries, China, we
yeah,
require these kind of translators to understand what they are speaking. Mandarin language is a very difficult language. Even we have trained personnel who are trained in Mandarin, but sometimes they change their dialect in such a way that our people are not able to understand. AI is
yeah,
going to help us in a big way in all these things.
yeah.
And
I mean,
next,
this will be really
sir,
helpful during flag meetings. We'll get to know exactly
absolutely
what
during
these
flag
guys are
meeting.
talking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
During our flag meeting is the ideal thing to have this translators, because when they speak
correct,
to each other, they speak in Chinese only, and we are not
correct.
able to understand what they are saying.
Privy to that.
Sir, can I have the next slide, sir?
Yeah, yeah. Going ahead.
No,
Okay,
these are
so
the.
by
No,
and
I
large,
just
I think
these are the AI based. We have an organization called Army Design Bureau, which does a lot of projects based on the problem statements given by the field army. So these are about 20, 25 AI-based projects which ADB has taken on, and within next 1 to 2 years, these projects will get completed. So this is where the Indian Army is also applying
okay. I think there is some problem which is happening with our speakers system. He's trying his level best to come. Yeah, I think. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, I finished, sir. Now I'll take on any questions.
Okay,
So
so what we
next slide is also same ADB
yeah.
projects only. It just lists out the projects. That's all, sir.
Yeah. So basically, today we have covered a lot of ground as far as artificial intelligence is concerned, especially in the military operations. And you find that from across the board, from combat, training, logistics, planning, administration, I think everything gets covered by artificial intelligence, and that would be the advantage which we will get. But I would like to now throw some questions and ask you those layman's doubts. One of the thing is, can artificial intelligence replace human beings? Because this is a threat which now is coming in the society, that okay, humans are losing jobs. And in fact, there is a question in the chat box. I will like to connect it with my question, which is of Colonel Vinod. Is there a possibility of AI turning rogue? So you can link both of these and answer this question for the
First of all, whether AI can replace human. I will put it, especially with this generative AI which has come up, Chat GPT, and now others are also coming out with the various general application. Everyone says,
correct.
Why? Because you had lots of software coders. You used to take days in coding something. The generative AI does it in minutes. So are we
Yeah.
going to lose the job because it is able to do? I'm saying no.
Correct.
The generative AI is going to help us to do the job faster. It cannot replace. You see,
Correct.
generative AI, on its own, it can't do anything. You are giving some input, then only it is able to do some output. So it will allow
Correct.
us to do a job faster. So it cannot replace us as such. So to think, uh, AI or robo will go rogue. If you have programmed it, it will go rogue. If you have programmed it to go rogue, it will go rogue. On its own, it cannot program itself.
Yeah.
On its own, it won't be able to. So whatever you have programmed, it will function as per that only. I mean, we have not yet reached. I mean, those are all come in the pictures only. It's all fiction. So we need not worry that AI will become rogue. I don't think it will ever become rogue in our time at least. Sir.
The second thing, in fact, I would like to give a response. I mean, add on to your comment is that I was the other day trying on Chat GPT, a kind of a small little text I wanted on the BRICS and India, right? It generated a very short, crisp answer and very easy to read. But in the end, it had written one line: the data is only up to okay, data is only up to 2021. For further
That,
updates, for further
so you
updates,
have to go for a paid one. If you go
yes,
for a paid one for which they charge a $20 per month, then it will
correct.
update you with the latest, sir.
I mean,
But
other than
even if you see the answer of whatever answer would have come, generally you would be knowing that answer, sir.
yeah, yeah, and it
Then
would be
nothing
around
new it has telling you actually.
correct. So let's move on to the next question. Can we constructively use AI to make our defense forces leaner and meaner through AI?
Absolutely, sir. You see, that's what I'm trying. I mean, if you look at each of the job which we said, whether it is logistics, maintenance, intelligence, you are using human now. So when you
Correct.
use AI, the number of humans required will reduce
Yeah.
to do the
But
same job.
but then accordingly, number of people to feed the data, number of people to keep maintaining the
Not required.
systems
Not
will
required.
increase.
No, no, no. You see, that is what actually happened in army when the computers came. We said we
Yeah.
require more manpower to operate the computers. No, that is actually not correct. That is
Okay.
actually not correct. See, sir,
Okay.
point is for AI to function, it requires data. I am not at all telling, collection of data manually. Then you
Yeah.
require more people. The
Yeah.
data should be collected through sensors automatically. Then
But
you can reduce the number.
I go further and say, okay, you are collecting the data through sensors, but sensors need to be made, they have to be manufactured, they have to be maintained, they have to be repaired. So automatically there will be an ecosystem of AI which will get created, and ultimately it will lead to manpower getting involved into it in some form or the other. It may not
Manpower
be.
will get involved, but overall the manpower can reduce.
Yeah. Okay, so there is another question which is there from Rakesh Bhatia. Reliable data is crucial to develop effective and ethical AI system. It should undergo rapid attrition to adapt as warfare evolves. We are not very good at maintaining data with reference to defense. Your views, sir.
I don't want to publicly say how we maintain data, but I think he is correct, sir. It's high
Yeah.
time, first of all, army should. That is why most important the sensors have to be done because so that we don't enter manually any data. They all
Okay.
get captured automatically through electronic system.
Okay.
So that is why like even if you look at MS branch or something, I mean, another technology called blockchain. All this should come into these technology should come into MS branch, our record office. So once these technology come, these data will get captured automatically. No one will be able to manipulate data. So
I'll,
I mean, I don't want to comment. I fully
again
agree with the point otherwise.
I'll give a personal example of procurement. Okay, everything can be automated, your bids, tenders, etc., and they have done it also. They have got all these systems on the internet. People file the tender on the internet, but when it comes down to the office and when it comes to the procurement committee and others doing the job, इतना मोटा फाइल रहेगा ही रहेगा, बोलेंगे सर बैकअप बनाना है मुझे उसका। And whereas in the corporate they have changed, they have switched over to all the data security has become so strong that they will go back to the data and refer to it, and easier to retrieve also. And if you have to retrieve a small data, वो पूरी फाइल पलटता रहेगा, 3 दिन लगाएगा वो. So this
No,
kind of a
even if I say I go to ArmedDev and take, I want all their tanks, I want their data. I can actually input the data by taking all the logbooks. Logbooks have got data, but
correct.
you and me know how reliable are those data.
Yeah, I'll ask another question is being asked by Janil Chaturvedi. He's our senior vice chairman and the guiding light of our think tank. Did we use AI-based signal intelligence to discern Chinese ingress leading to Galwan? You may not be, if you're not aware of it, you don't. You
No,
can.
this I'm not aware, but Arunachal, yes.
Arunachal,
Where
yes.
we did yes, there I am aware of it. We did use it, sir. We used
So,
satellite imaging, and we got advanced information, so we could position our troops.
yeah, I would also like to add here that we do have systems which tell you or locate enemy patrols or movements well in advance, but it is not possible that everything may get captured. So, with more and more sensors and more interception equipment being deployed, this error would get reduced. There was a similar instance which happened in the rest of Arunachal, where we got the information when they were on the Chinese side itself. So by the time they came towards us, our and it used to take us 3 days walk to reach to intercept them. So we had that much of advance notice. So it is possible, but sometimes, as you know, we have limited equipment, etc. At this point of time. So there
But
are
the point is, sir, I mean, with we getting the Predator drones,
yeah.
so it will
That's
be
what
the
I'm
eye
saying.
in the sky. It will be eye in
And
the sky. It will not be easy
correct,
for Chinese to now come nearby also with the
yeah.
satellite imagery, drones,
Correct.
keeping eye in the sky. I mean, we'll
So
be able to get wherever they are coming.
as we pack the system, pack the space of ours, I think that much more difficult it will be for us also and for them also
Absolutely.
to ingress to make an ingress. Okay, there's another question. Reliable data is crucial to develop effective and ethical AI system. It should under have you
So they
have
have
you
already
answered?
done this.
You've answered this. Okay, I think this one was there. What should be India's priorities with reference for using AI? I can think change detection in satellite imagery, drones on priority. Request you to list. I think this has already been listed by General
Yes, these
Narayanan.
are the ADB problem statements, sir.
There is in fact a huge scope for it. Problem is our limitations of equipment, budget constraints, research, development, innovation. I mean, you name it. It is the inertia, I think, which is currently slowing us down in this, but slowly we'll catch up. मैं ये बोलता हूँ कि अगर हमारा देश यूपीआई ड्रिवन हो सकता है विद इन 1 ईयर और 2 ईयर्स, ये
Absolutely.
सारी ये सारी चीजें भी हो सकती हैं
ये
अगर
AI driven भी हो सकता है.
इतना बड़ा देश यूआईडी बना लिया आधार कार्ड का, तो आई मीन इट इज नोन द हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस ऑफ इंडिया, that scheme of prime minister is today considered as the most difficult program to have been launched, evolved, and thereafter evolved, launched, and made put into use. This is on record. So we have the capabilities. I think we are a kind of a mini superpower as far as
Sir, it's all the question of budget. Otherwise, I mean, China has done a lot in AI also. China, some of the cities they have made it, fitted camera everywhere. So a
correct,
person cannot, can be traced very easily wherever he is, because it
correct.
can do identification, face identification, and whichever place he goes in the city, the police will come to know he's here. So this also can be done by us. There's nothing, face identification using AI is a very simple way of programming. But you require so much of camera, so much of funds for that. We don't have that kind of funding.
But we are, like I said, we are going ahead. We are the fifth now in the world as far as AI is concerned,
What
and
I'm saying is the scope is very large, but
yeah,
because if funding is unlimited, we would have gone much ahead.
and by 2027 we will be 5 trillion. So AI will go accordingly, that much up. We have another question from CP Thakur. Sir, are there any collaborations or partnerships between the Indian Army and AI research institutions or private companies to advance AI capabilities? Yeah, you could answer because you have been now after retirement doing a lot of work on this area. You could answer this.
No, this is what I'm saying. How are we collaborating? We have put about more than 100 problem statements in our Army Design Bureau website.
Okay.
So various private companies do come and say that I have this capability, and we do some funding. They use their fund. We also do some funding. The
Okay.
projects gets developed. The project is evaluated, and if it is accepted, then the procurement action takes place. So this process has started. So we have involved the complete private sector in developing our AI capability as such.
Yeah, I would like to give information to our audience that our network, our drone network, drone system for the mechanized forces is totally indigenously developed, and it is about to be fielded. And help of all these other agencies have been taken in this. So you will find that we are going to move real fast as far as this thing is concerned. The government is also very proactive in introducing these new technologies. We have to just have the will and the patience to see these things roll out soon. There is another question which is coming from Vijay Kumar. Sirs, Ukraine proved that humans are here to stay in war scenario. Russia will win because of the human resource rather than technology. If we adapt AI and technology to get lean, how do we cope in real war? Yeah, this is something which you want to answer. Otherwise, I'll answer him.
The only thing is, uh, it is because Russia was able to destroy Ukraine properly. Otherwise, if you take Azerbaijan and Armenia war, there the drones disseminated Armenian tanks, their guns, and these drones were the backed drones of Turkey, which is AI driven. So it is not that AI will not be helpful in war scenario. Here, Russia is such a huge country, a superpower, fighting a smaller country called Ukraine. So there is a big anomaly in their capability as such. So they are able to sort out Ukraine. Sir, some view from you also.
Yeah. Vijay, actually, it's not so simple as you put the question across. Technology is a enabler. It's not a winner. It's not a means to win. It's an enabler. How well you use that technology will decide whether you will be able to win or lose in a particular battlefield, in a particular war. In the case of Russia and Ukraine, you find that Ukraine was not being given systems in adequate quantity. For example, their counter air systems, that is air defense systems, they were very limited. HIMARS was given, but they were again, the numbers are very few, and they were coming in trickles. Initially they exhausted all their eastern bloc systems, then they started giving the western bloc systems. The training issues are there for the Ukrainian. Number of factors were there which wherein Ukrainians were, and lot of corruption within the uh, Ukrainian defense forces. That is why
The
he had to
defense minister has been sacked.
that is why he had to sack all the recruiting officers, right from top down to everyone. So Ukraine has had multiple other problems which have led to the technology not really being used in that manner. How many barracks did they get? Whereas Russians took hordes of drones from Iran. They went there, purchased in bulk, same kind of equipment. So they realized the importance of these drones, and later on they have been using the drones. Russians are also hitting. The Ukrainians have hit Russia about 2 days back, 3 days back, 6 places in one night, including Moscow, including an air base, including a bomber has been destroyed. So they are force multipliers. They are a little more, they give you additional punch, but humans are essential. Boots
Irreplaceable.
boots on ground have to be there, right? Boots on ground have to be there. So to that extent, you are absolutely right, Thakur. Let's go to another question. Okay. Delhi road are AI driven. You cross max speed of 60 kilometers, you will receive your big fine and amount will be deducted. You can answer this is a very simple thing because they have got
This
so
is
many
basically
sensors.
radar will be able to make out whether there's a camera. There's a camera
Yeah.
and a radar is there. The radar, millimetric wave radar they put, that tells you the speed which you are traveling. So speed gets recorded, your vehicle video gets recorded, and the police is able to make out that you are going at this vehicle BA number. Very easy to make out the BA number from the video. AI can read it. So these solutions are available in all the cities now. They are calling as a automatic traffic regulations.
Yeah. So in UP they have just announced uh, AI driven lights at the crossroads. There is a clarification given by K. Sri Ram Kumar. Data collection has to be from sensors or devices that doesn't require manual intervention. You can throw your some
Absolutely.
light.
I mean, they should not. You see, we would have all heard the IoT. IoTs are also sensors. This is Internet of Things. They are the ideal sensors to take the data and feed it to a system where they, all this data which is collected and then processed using maybe AI or whatever way you wanted to process it. I mean, there is no question of manual intervention. The moment you have a manual intervention, you will play with the data. You will spoil the data. So you should not have a manual intervention at all. Then you
Uh,
will ensure that the data is what suits you.
yeah, then it'll become raw. Then it'll become raw. Uh, do we have plans to have organizations support? Look, the man has come in the form of specialized units to support these AI. Unless each formation has an organized unit to operationalize these capabilities, no output will come. This
No, you can't have any organization to support in the form of specialized units. There is nothing to support in AI. The AI will get built into the system. You will only operate the AI system. Today, AI is there in Amazon. It is there in Google. You're only operating them. So you will get output, relevant output out of that. The Google Lens, you don't have, you're using the Google Lens, which is AI driven. So you get the output. Similarly, you will get the output there. I don't think you require a specific unit because are you going to develop the software for AI? If you are going, then you will require. But no, that is unnecessary wasting of manpower. With all our point, we can't keep a individual 25 years only in AI. We can't do that. So basically, all these systems will be outsourced, and someone will make the software and give it to us, and we'll only
yeah.
implement those. We'll only operate those.
Basically, you will have to train your clerks to graduate now from computers to getting to handle these kind of systems. After all, these will be the inputs which will be given to you either on a screen or through these guys working and giving sharing their screen with you as commander. So some amount of adjustments will have to be done, some amount of reorientation of functioning will have to be done. I think that would be the correct method, and also outsourcing, as you said, would have to be done to agencies to whenever you are looking for a large report, you'll have to outsource, of course. And sometimes functions may have to be outsourced, like the passport guys have outsourced their back end work to TCS, so something like that may be required. We have also done it in communications. If you see, in Delhi,
Absolutely.
etc., the high headquarters, they have outsourced their things. There is another question, but again, this is not relevant. Ask, are Ukrainians still receiving Bayraktar? Have not received any news for the time being. They destroyed Moscow ship. You see, as of now, I think Bayraktars were limited in supply, and so I also have not heard any new supplies coming from Turkey. But you never know. In future, it may be given to them. As of now, you are right that there are limited number of drones there, but both sides are using it. If there were six drone attacks in Moscow and other parts of Russia, that means drones are there with either side. They are being given, not
But
specifically
actually,
Bayraktar.
Turkey is now negotiating between Russia and Ukraine for the
Hmm.
grains to go to the global south, sir. So till
Yeah,
that is not sorted out, I don't think Turkey will give the better to now Ukraine. Till that gets sorted out, once that is sorted
yeah,
out, it may give.
yeah. But drones are there definitely with both sides
Yeah,
as of now.
absolutely. They have got the drones. Drones are the easiest thing to make now, sir. You
Absolutely.
put some bomb in its nose and tell it to go and hit itself, and they are
And
so
mind
cheap.
you,
They will destroy the
and correct. And mind you, Russia had said that one of the air base attack was from inside Russia.
from theaters.
So it indicates some kind of a terror angle as well. People using low grade handheld drones also
Absolutely,
for
sir.
these kind of things. There is another question. Sir, how much of R&D in AI is actually being done in our country? We will achieve self-reliance in AI. I had given these figures to you right in the beginning. Go back, reel back, and you'll find this. For this 2022, it was $3.73 billion, which was India's figure. And India is now the fifth largest AI investor as far as investments go for in AI related things. I think that will give you the answer. US and China are way ahead, but definitely we are also trying to. We have crossed Russia, Germany, Canada, etc. This only UK and UK, Israel, US, and China are ahead of us. That's all. Next question is, Sir Vikram Sood in his book said USA has never won the war post World War II. Now entire technology and advanced R&D has hold of USA from hardware to software. We have software. How do we secure hardware, sir? Yeah, this you can answer.
There is actually there is no issue of hardware because all the hardware are getting. I mean, the advanced technology is getting made in this, countries like South Korea and all. I mean, which we have good relationship, and nowhere these technologies are being denied to India now. All this technology, whatever we want, we're getting in the technology. So there is no issue with respect to availability of hardware or software for us. And plus, the ISRO has, when we were told we will not be getting a supercomputer, we made our own supercomputers. Param, if you remember, the CTAC made long back, and ISRO made the cryogenic engines and all. So we have the capability to make, and now with fab being established in India, be rest assured in another 4 or 5 years, all the chips will get made in India. After that, all the problems will be over.
Okay, we have a lot of questions today. In fact, but unfortunately, our time is coming to an end. So therefore, we will not take. We'll just take two more quick questions and quick answers from you. First one is about since it is related to army. I thought let me just uh, ask you about it, and it is your core area. So, sir, you spoke about sensors
Yeah.
in tank for predictive maintenance. Is anything being done for the same in B vehicles also for upgrading fleet management of B vehicle in organizations?
You see, the point is why did we do it on a tank is because one tank engine is very costly, is more than 1 crore rupees. So when it fails, whereas the amount of sensors you will put on a B vehicle, especially the B vehicle which is available with Indian Army as on date, it will be an overkill. But if at all a B vehicle is going to cost you 40, 50, 60 lakh rupees, then it may be worth to put all this, sensors on the B vehicle also, and ensure that you could do predictive maintenance. Basically, you will put it where you can, other than you have to save money also with this. It can't be that I put so many sensors, I'll come to know when the engine fails. But with the cost of the sensors, I could have actually put more engines. I mean, that is not the point. The point is when you use all this technology, it should give you some savings in cost also, other than operational advantages.
Yeah. This is another question which was again you've been dealing with this. Suresh Redita has asked, does our army academies have built-in syllabus in their regular UG or PG courses to help enable the cadets on AI and ML areas? Since you just relinquished this
I can tell
appointment.
you I can tell you this much that there are three technical cores, that is Core of Engineers, Core of EME, and Core of Signals. All three have incorporated AI as part of the syllabus in their degree engineering course. I think that should be sufficient to tell. So AI is being taught, and not only that, RTRAC had taken a lead. RTRAC, which controls all the CAT establishments of Indian Army, had taken a lead and got short courses conducted for all arms on AI, so that everyone is aware of AI. These courses were conducted by the CAT establishment who had knowledge about AI and simulator development divisions. So all those who have got knowledge on AI did conduct these cadres, and all arms officers from various formations and CAT were detailed to attend these, and it is being continued also. So AI has entered Indian Army in a big way.
Okay, there are two questions together I'll take because both are of the same nature. First one is, Sir, Chinese have deployed AI sentry bot armed with LMG. How to counter these weapons? And the next one is related to uh, Sir, there has been talks of AI-enabled bots, micro EOVs, AI-enabled weapons replacing soldiers. What is your take on it, sir? Does Chinese possess these capabilities? First question gives you some kind of a lead into this question, but by and large, the essence of the question is that AI-enabled bots, right? How can they be countered is the basic question, and
But the point is, today also, no army has got, so many AI-enabled bots which can replace soldiers. So everyone is in the design phase or demonstration phase only. So they will have
okay,
one or two to show. One or two to
correct.
show. I will tell you, there's something called a Boston Dynamics US company. It
Mm-hmm.
made a bulldog,
Mm-hmm.
a robo. It spent, about $200 million to make that. Today, it has
Okay.
make a robo called Atlas. It has spent more than $400 million in that, and
Let me
it's very easy.
let me tell you.
They can
Let
demonstrate.
me Yeah. Let me tell you, in one
They
third of
can
that money.
demonstrate. So Chinese have been demonstrating this, but I don't think they have the capability to replace their soldiers with these bots.
Let me tell you, in one third of this expenditure, we can raise an army. as far as, as far as so why spend so much of money when you have so much of manpower available with us? And man is always very dynamic as far as his last question. I can't
But it is
ignore him.
feasible. I'm not denying it, but it is feasible. Point is, it is feasible. You can make such a bot,
Okay.
which with a LMG or MMG, whatever you want to do, it can act as a sentry. That is possible.
Okay. Uh, Brigadier Sandeep Kumar, he is the chairman of Indus Research Foundation, Bangalore. A vehicle are sent for overhaul based on time and kilometer run. He's an infantry officer, so he's taken a little umbrage to your remarks. Same for B vehicle classification also. Sensors and AI can reduce the expenditure and downtime, which will improve op readiness. Why this is not being done?
So
So
today, if I want to, first of all, put sensors in all my vehicles and tank or any equipment, it is going to cost me a very heavy expenditure. Number two, even if I put the sensors in the tank, how much of tank are we running during peacetime? From where do we get the data? So I'll have to make complete Indian Army run, tanks run for next at least 100 to 200 kilometers, and then generate data every second, and then maybe I'll be able to apply AI into it. So it's a big problem. So what is to be done by Indian Army is future equipment should have all these sensors, so that over a period of time when they keep on running, this data gets accumulated and AI algorithm keeps on improving.
okay, I think we will end our questions here because questions are continuing to pour in, and the time is already, we have crossed 1 hour 20 minutes. That's a very long show we have had. So, on behalf of our senior vice chairman, we would like to thank you, Jan Narayanan, for a good and informed talk on behalf of the team Strive. A big thank you. A big thank you to all our audience who have so patiently listened to the entire conversation and have been eagerly throwing questions at us, and it's limitation of time which we have not been able to take all of them. So those who have not been able to, keep it in the comment box. General will reply to them when he sees the YouTube, and he'll give you the answer to your questions in the comment box. I would also like to request all of you to please like and subscribe to our channel, so that we can get you such informative talks and to benefit from the knowledge which you get from this particular channel. With that, we will close our talk. Thank you, Jan Narayanan. Before we end our broadcast, I would like to play my request video to everyone.